In this picture we can see how eutrophication causes. In a first step, the nutrient load up means the excessive nutrient from fertilizers are flushed from land into rivers or lakes by rainwater. Okay, then the next step is the plant flourish. Due to this pollutant cause the aquatic plant growth of algae, duckweed and other plants. Then the algae bloom, oxygen is depleted. In the next step, algae blooms and oxygen is depleted. Algae blooms preventing the sunlight reaching other plants. The plants die and oxygen in the water is depleted. How this decomposition further the depletes oxygen. Then the dead plants are broken down by bacteria or decomposers, using up even more oxygen in the water. The bacteria can utilize the dissolved oxygen from water and they can decompose the dead decayed material. Then in the next step, this death of ecosystem, the oxygen level reach a point where no life is possible. Fish and other organisms are died due to lack of oxygen level. And due to this dead decayed material, the sediment level is increases and total water system is disturbed. The sources of eutrophication. Now we see which sources is there is. The first is the point sources and another one is the non-point sources. The point sources are directly attributable to one effluent. In a point sources, the nutrient waste travels directly from source to water. Point sources are relatively easy to regulate. Which are these difference between the point source and non-point source? The water effluent like a municipal and industrial. Then the runoff of leachates from waste disposal system. Then runoff of infiltration from animal feedlots, runoff of mines, oil fields and unserved industrial sites. Then overflow of combined storms and sanitary sewers, runoff from construction sites and untreated sewage. Then next, the non-point sources. The non-point sources pollution is that which comes from diffuse sources. Means there is a number of sources. We can't recognize these sources. Okay. Non-point sources are difficult to regulate and usually vary spatially to temporally, where runoff from agriculture or irrigation, or runoff from pasture and range. Another one is it comes from urban runoff from unsewered areas or septic tank leachates. Then the runoff from construction sites more than 20,000 meter per square. Then runoff from abandoned mines. Then atmospheric deposition over a water surface. Other land activities generating contaminants. These are the sources of eutrophication. Now you can see this picture which shows the point sources and non-point sources. The source of eutrophication, here we can see in an urban area, discharge of untreated municipal sewage which contain nitrate and phosphates are discharged into the lake. Here in a center, the lake ecosystem nutrients overload and breakdown of chemical cycling, which we can see here. Then here nitrogen compounds are produced by cars and factories, which can be seen there. Then discharge of treated municipal sewage, primary and secondary treatment, which which are discharged into a lake. Then the dissolving of nitrogen oxides from an internal combustion engine and furnaces, which is also a industrial uh, fluid which may be discharged into lake. Then another side we can see the natural runoff of the nitrates and phosphates from agricultural land. Then the inorganic fertilizers runoffs which also mix into the lakes. Then manure runoff from feedlots like a in which contain the cattle fecal. Then the runoff from streets, lawns and construction lots which also contain a nitrogen and phosphates. Then the runoff from erosion from a cultivation, mining, construction and poor land uses. These all sources or these all flows are discharged into lakes, which can cause a eutrophication or water pollution. Effect of eutrophication. Primarily, productivity increase, the diversity of primary producer varies. Then, growth of aquatic plants and algae reduce the light penetration and also increase the turbidity. Death of resident organism takes place. Dew level decrease and sedimentation rate increase. Species diversity is altered. In turn, overall aquatic ecosystem is affected. Accumulation of organic and inorganic nutrients. Then, conversion of aerobic environment to anaerobic, in turn altering the appearance, odor of water body. Then, anaerobic produce toxins and uses of this water cause health problem. Aquatic ecosystem is depleted. Here we can see some examples of eutrophic lakes. In Uday Sagar Lake, situated around 13 km in the east of Udaipur, revealed high phosphate content due to discharge of pollutants from surrounding phosphorides mine, chemical factories, distillery and domestic effluent. These lakes show a green shade of algal bloom, witnessing eutrophication. Here you can see in this picture the all water source covered by a algal bloom, which turn into a green color. Then we can say it is a eutrophic condition or polluted water, which can deplete the all ecosystem. Then the next example is a dal, which is this lake in Srinagar, which is named the jewel in crown of Kashmir. Jewel in the crown of Kashmir. The lake is also an important source for commercial operations in fishing and water plant harvesting. The lake covers an area of 18 square kilometers, means 6.9 square per mi, and it's part of a natural wetland which covers 21.1 square kilometers. Due to increasing urbanization, industrial discharge and use of chemical fertilizers in and around the area has resulted in the pollution of the lake, causing eutrophication. A view of Chelur Lake, situated near Shimoga district, which is densely covered by aquatic weeds and algal bloom. The reason being lake is surrounded by agricultural field, the application of fertilizers in their leach into the lake causing hypertrophications. Here we can see the in a lake or surrounded lake, we can see the weeds are growing fastly, which can cover the whole whole lake's upper surface, and this is called eutrophication.